Guess how many days there are before the next presidential election? Only 837. Do you think that's too soon for us to be talking about who might run in the Democratic Party? I don't, and neither do our own political junkies, CNN's own Harry Enten and Chris Cillizza. Gentlemen, it's never too early, right?
Never.
No.
Never.
No,
It's only
never.
two
Never,
years,
ever.
3 months, and 14 days.
I mean, there you go. It's all I can think about these days. Truly, all I can think about. You guys have a piece out that's getting a ton of buzz and a ton of attention, ranking the top 10 potential contenders for 2020. You've got Joe Biden at the top, Cillizza. Walk
Yes.
me through why that's an exciting pick for the party.
Well, I don't know that it's an exciting pick for the
Right.
party, but I don't know if Donald Trump as president. The question is, do Democrats want to pick their version of Trump or the anti-Trump? Biden, in some
And?
ways, is the anti-Trump. Right now, Harry and I write about this in the piece. Typically, the guy or gal who is in first, who is ahead in early polling, tends to be there right at the end. That's Joe Biden right now, ahead in national polling, ahead in early state polling, and ahead, by the way, it's kind of got missed, but ahead by double digits over Donald Trump in general election polling. So at this date, if you're betting, Joe Biden is your best bet. The question, obviously, is he's 75 years old. Does the party want that now?
Trump, how old's Trump?
72.
There you go. All right. 70 is the new 40, apparently. Harry, to you, what I noticed right away from this list, if we can pull it back up, guys, there's not a single business leader, right? There's not a Howard Schultz on that list. There's not a Mark Cuban on that list. There's not some of these names that were floated out there as maybe being the anti-Trump, but still coming from the business world and not from the world of politics. These are all politicians.
They are all politicians, and I will say, look, it's certainly possible that one of them could end up being the nominee, but at the end of the day, given where the Democratic Party is right now, right, it's very difficult for me to imagine that a business leader could potentially win, especially with the Bernie wing sort of in its ascendancy and being very anti-Wall Street. So, Schultz, Mike Bloomberg's another name that a lot of people have spoken about. They could certainly enter, but I think they're going to find a lot of problems, especially if they have connections to Wall Street.
What about Cillizza, the more liberal, sort of in the Bernie wing, the Bernie, obviously right there in the middle at 5.
Yeah.
Also, Senator Sanders, I should call him. Also, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren. I mean, Kamala Harris is now writing this book, right? It's a pretty clear where her path is headed.
Yes.
Elizabeth Warren is taking more trips overseas, trying to beef up those foreign policy chops.
Yeah, look, so I would say Biden is sort of the establishment wing of the party. And then the next four people Harry and I have ranked, 2 through 5, are all liberals without question. And I would say liberals and trying to get left of each other as fast as they can. So Warren, Harris, Gillibrand, Sanders. The argument for Sanders is he's been there the longest. The argument against him is, do Democrats really want to relitigate 2016 in any way, shape, or form?
Right.
And again, Bernie Sanders is 76 years old. Is that the road they want to go?
Did you not hear me at the beginning of the segment that 70 is the new 40?
Sorry. So I would know. I do think Kamala Harris, Harry and I have her third. I do think she has real potential. First Indian American and African American elected to the Senate in California. You don't write a memoir if you're a politician in 2019 unless you are thinking about running for national offices. There are not coincidences like that.
Well, 2 points. One issue, Harry.
Oh, wow. As you can see there, CNN does a crash course in fake news right here. They're just making stuff up, and I'm going to go by one and show you why they're making stuff up. Now, 2 claims they make. One, they say Kamala Harris is part of the Bernie Sanders wing, and Kirsten Gillibrand. He said Chris Cillizza, I believe his name, the guy on the right, who's always on CNN, and they always do these think pieces that really have no concrete empirical facts that back them up. So when a lot of people say fake news, they sort of connect that to what Donald Trump is saying. But the media has had a problem for a long time. People have been dissatisfied with the type of issues they cover, with the consistency of those issues they cover, like Stormy Daniels, things that really have no a core value to everyday American life, or no key information that people need and want to know, instead of this Stormy Daniels bullshit like this. And this is a key example right here. So look at Kamala Harris, right? She was the Attorney General of California, and she was given $2,000 by Steve Mnuchin, who is now the treasurer, whatever, Secretary of Treasury. I don't know what exactly his position is now, but he was a Goldman Sachs banker, but he ran One West Bank, something like that. And they did a year-long investigation, and they found out that he did 80,000 foreclosures that were considered illegal tactics that he used to force out people out of their homes. Now, he's on sort of the list of people to pursue by the Attorney General. Kamala Harris was her name at the time. And he gave her a $2,000 donation in 2016. And she just put her hand over her eyes. Nope, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to care about that. And just went on with her life. That right there is corruption. That's pay to play. I'm in trouble. I'm going to give you money for your campaign, and then you're going to let me go. Doesn't get worse than that. Now, if a Democrat did that the other way around, paid a Republican or another Democrat, yeah, I would. Still, it doesn't matter what party they're from. It's all bad. It's all corruption. It doesn't matter. There's no partisan bullshit. If you pay someone and you're in trouble, and that person gets you out of that trouble because you gave them money, that's corruption. Quid pro quo. Now go to Christian Gillibrand. She's sort of done some positive things, so I don't want to trash her. So maybe she's changed. But whenever people are sort of center Democrats like she is, and then she's sort of veering to the left right now because she wants to run, that's not really genuine, but it's also a good sign, so I'm not going to rip it. But at the same time, it's like, come on, dude. Like, you try to deregulate Wall Street so they could put regulations. She tried to delay regulations on derivatives, so they can just, derivatives are when they make risky gambles with your money, and then that's basically it. They just lose your money, and they're like, sorry, dude, sorry about that, and they just go on with their lives because they want to make a short term of money, a lot of money in a short time period. They don't want to do that investing thing where it's like, we'll put this in for 5 years and see how it goes. They don't want to do that. They want to make money now. So again, it's just laughable that they would think that that Bernie Sanders is fifth. Bernie Sanders, he's the number one in widely all the polls. Joe Biden, I don't know if it's because of those memes that went out, like everyone just loves Joe Biden. And he is likable. I mean, he is likable too, but policy-wise, he's just a centrist Democrat. I don't think he's going to give you Medicare for all. I don't think he's going to fight for free tuition. I don't think he's going to end the wars. Remember, under Barack Obama, we had 7 wars. 90% of his drone strikes killed innocent people. No one really cared, right? So people did care, but Obama supporters, people who veered to the center at the time, sort of didn't even know, I bet. But he's, I think in 2 polls, he's at number 1. But Bernie Sanders is widely number 1, hands down. So again, it just doesn't make any sense how they're going to lie like that, you know? Just tell a vicious lie. Just be like, yeah, I'm just going to go in there and tell him my opinion and then present it as a fact. What? How is he 5th? They're like, oh, he's a white male and we need more diversity. First of all, you should base your picks around policy positions, not because someone's diverse, right? It just doesn't work like that. And it's like a thing that's like some progressives do. I don't know, progressives or maybe people on the left, I'm not sure, they try to do this thing where, well, she's a woman and she's of color. It doesn't matter. What are her policy positions is what I care about. If someone has better policies, I want her. That's going to help more lower middle. I want him or her. It's going to help more lower middle class people.